What do you recommend for many of these people that are very sick and can barely eat or drink? I mean, how is that handled as you've been doing this for so many years?
To that question, I'd like to say listen up and listen carefully. I've said this hundreds of times to people worldwide that are making and giving these juices to the very sick. You should start with the juices very, very slowly with the sick. That may mean only a sip or two of the juices at a time and build up from there. If you think by pushing them and more is better, when just starting out with the juicing, you're going to find out the hard way what a bad mistake that was. If you give the very sick too much juice too fast, they will throw up, cause severe diarrhea, or both. I had to personally learn this the hard way. Don't let it happen to you. Start very slowly with a little bit each day. These juices are made fresh each day, and they're 8-ounce glasses, as I mentioned before. I know that Gershon recommends making the juices fresh each time, but this is impossible for most people.
Mike, so what are your quick thoughts on the importance of these juices?
Juicing is the first start of the cellect-budwig protocol, which I wrote. People will say, where do I start? I told all of you, this is where I would start giving my loved ones the nutrients their bodies are so depleted from. When you're drinking these juices, you're drinking pure sunlight, and this sunlight is referred to as biophotons, which are the smallest particles of sunlight to help recharge every cell in your body, much like a battery charger recharges a cell phone when the battery runs low. This will help to get their strength back. The juices are loaded with electrons, and we're body electric. We must have the electrons from the sun for the cells in our body to fire properly, and much more. The juices are loaded with live food enzymes that are needed to complete every chemical reaction that takes place in the body. I mentioned earlier that these are not the same type of enzymes. I'll talk about it a little later. The juices also raise the alkalinity in the fluids and tissues to help in the repair process and healing of the body. They also provide the elements needed to correct improper DNA sequencing in the body, which I'll cover later. This is how I see the importance of juicing.